Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Today is episode 11, I think, of the Guild Making Guide, and we're going to take a look at stuff for the future. We're going to take a look at things you might want to stock up on, you might want to buy now instead of later if you have plans. And it's all in preparation for the expansion. Especially, the one thing I'm focusing on here is housing. If you take a look at the housing district here, there is just an absurd amount of housing plots. Once this new location opens up, it's just going to be, like, already housing stuff is through the roof. Once you add another, like, how many is there here? There's 30 here, another 30 there. There's 15 wards or something like that. Once you add that many houses, it's just going to be insane. So I would plan ahead of time if you plan on buying a house and get what you want now, especially if you want to sell stuff. I would pre-make them now and sell it later, which is what I've done as well. I could be wrong in all of this. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but with this many housing spots opening up, people are just going to throw their money away to make their house look better, especially on older servers or more populated servers that haven't had house openings all the time. It's just going to be huge, I think. So anyway, let's take a look at some recipes here and figure out what we want to sell. So we are at our trusty market board here, and we have our crafting log open, and we're going to just take a look at what I think will sell, what housing items people might want, and that sort of thing. And it's very, very, very important to plan things out ahead. I can't stress that enough. Some of these items are already far between in the auction house. It's really hard to get them, and I can't even imagine what's going to happen unless Square adds more resources to get these things. And that's a possibility, but, you know, that's something you don't want to risk. So first, let's just go through, let's go to Goldsmithing here. Let's just click through a bunch really quick. So you can see there are a lot of nuggets, a lot of ingots, nuggets, cloth, lumber, a lot of the basic things. I noticed a ton of rosewood, a ton of spruce, a ton of dark steel, basically all the basic stuff. And people love bathtubs. Like, so many people have little bathtubs in their house, and basically all of them take these cut stones. And if you go search by crafting menu, you see they take granite. So you're going to need a lot of granite. That's something you can farm really easily too. So not too worried about that one, but just something to keep in mind. What else do we have here? A lot of these things, like if you search for manor here, a lot of them have fine wax. And the thing with this stuff is people love them. The manor stuff is one of the most beautiful things in the game. They take a lot of manor varnish, a lot of glazed nut specifically, a lot of glazed nut, a lot of spruce. We won't put that, we already put that in. And a lot of, what was the other one? Fine wax. And they're in almost everything. If you see them there, they have minor varnish, glazed nut. And there are so many things that take glazed nut. Like, you really need to keep that in mind. Especially since right now, how much are they each? They are 100,000 each per glazed nut. And they're going to go up because every furniture needs it. Not every, but a lot of the higher end furniture needs it. And sure, there's going to be a ton of plots opening up, so people are going to start gardening, but they're not going to get this right away, and people are going to want their housing right away. So let's look at alchemy here, since alchemy is usually the outside stuff, the plant stuff. So we see these oriental grass plots people like a lot. And the grass tuft is really hard to get. A lot of the stuff you can only get from airship missions. I hope they really expand on that later, because that's really lame for me. I want to buy a house on one of my alt characters just to have a free company on it, just to send out on airship missions. So there's these. These are already volatile already. You can see them go up to 200 to 250k. They're really hard to get, and if there's this many people wanting them at the same time, it's just gonna be some trouble, let's just say that. And also all these topiary things which people love, they're little shrubs of Muggles, of Chocobos, of Sabotenders. They all take shrub seedlings, which I again think is a airship only thing. Right now, They are 50 to 100k, which is a fantastic price. They were much higher than that earlier. I'm actually going to buy some right now, because anything over 100k on these, they're just going to go nuts. Everybody wants their Sabotenders. Everybody wants their Chocobos. So let's just clear that out there. Sorry if you wanted to buy those. Then we have Lupin Seedlings. People love these Lupin plots. They're beautiful. One of the best looking garden items in the game. We'll just take a look here. Oh, I forgot to add it. So, shrub seedlings, oriental tuft grass, and Lupin seedlings. People love these Lupin plots, and not only do they love them, but they look really good together, so you really want a lot of them. And I think they are from... They're 79 to 100k right now on my server. I think they are from Explorations, and they're from one of the higher end Explorations, which means once we get higher level retainers, they're not going to be doing that as much as they are now. So these should go up as well too. So let's look at some Weaver things now. People obviously need to furnish their house, and this is a good way to do it. One thing to note is there's so much jute needed for this stuff. Jute right now is an obnoxious amount of gil right now, and it's not going to go down. You need 4 of them just for this rug, and people will pay that, no problem. There should be a ton more that take jute as I go down, and of course there's going to be nothing. It'll be in a different section. But I promise you there's some more. There's a ton of jute stuff. And the thing with jute, again, it's the same thing with glazed nuts before, but people are going to garden these more when the housing comes out. But in the initial rush, people are going to want their stuff before their plants are ready. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And another thing that is used just an absolute monstrous amount here is Vania Silk. We'll put that up there too. These take 9 potash and 2 twin threads per. The potash are generally from vendors, from serpent seals and that sort of thing, or whatever your Grand Company seals are. And the twin thread takes silkworm cocoons and effervescent water. Where were we? So seas. This is the one I was looking for. This is one of the most frequently selling housing items in the game, and people are going to want an absolute nuts amount of these. So this is a good item to stock up on. They're not worth the most, but they do sell really quick, at least on my server. They're worth about 250k right now, and they're actually not selling too fast right now or too high. But they were before when I was making them. But the reason these are great is because you can fit them in corners of houses, and unless they add something else that really fits into corners perfectly, then these are going to be the go-to item for corners, and people are always going to try to find a way to put a house in a corner. And again, these take 3 Vania Silk and a bunch of other things, and the Vania Silk is huge, just because you need the sheer amount of potash you need, because this recipe here takes 27 potash just for that. And the sheer amount of those you need is just through the roof. I'm going to buy all these. I buy any potash under like 1,000 pretty easily. Just because you need so much of it. There's also blue fox hide here. This is another one that's in a lot of recipes, and it's one of those ones that's not really worth much right now, but I think it will be later. They're about 10 to 15k, and there's a ton of them up, so maybe not, but something to look at just in case. They're in a lot of beds, they're in a lot of Tonberry stuff specifically. Oh, the big one, frosted glass lens. This one needs its own line. So this drinking Apkalu right now is absolutely adorable. It takes a frosted glass lens and a bunch of crap. And right now the frosted glass lens is 200 to a little higher. And we interrupt this public service announcement of frosted glass lens with the real way to get them. I actually recorded the video and I'm editing this in after, and I said I would buy every frosted glass lens under about 50 to 60k. And it goes to show you how wrong I am sometimes, and how even myself, with as much gil as I have, you don't know everything unless you double, triple check everything. So I checked these a while ago, and I found the only way to get them was through Unhidden Leather maps. And one decent thing, but the decent thing took a frosted glass lens itself, so it wasn't worth it. And then I noticed after rechecking it, I thought there's no way they're able to sell them that cheap. I did find another way, and my bad for not knowing this ahead of time, so I thought I'd show you guys here. So you want to go to your housing merchant, you want to go to shelves, rugs, lighting, and go to the bottom, and they decent from these wall lanterns. It's really cheap. I feel like an idiot, but you know, I'm going to keep this in here like this. We'll just buy a couple and decent them. This is 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24... Let's just do that many of them there. I've done a bunch already, and as you can see, I've got, where are they? 11 frosted glass lens already, so they're really, really, really plentiful. I feel like an idiot, but it is what it is. So just decent, you will need blacksmithing decent skill. If you do not have decent, level it up. It's one of the most profitable things in the game, especially when new items first come out. So we'll go through a few, and I'm sure I'm going to get none this whole time, but I made, there's one right there. That's already 50k at the low price, or 250k right now, what they're selling at. That one pays for everything already, even at the lowest price possible. And you also get some cobalt ingots, that sort of thing. You get some demi materials, the fieldcraft ones. And you can also get them two per decent as well. And even if I only get this one, it was still well worth it. Last time I got, I think, 4 in this amount of decents, so. There's 2 more, so that's 3. That's 100 and... Even at the absolute lowest price I've ever seen it, which is about 35k, that's about 110k worth for like 20k worth of mats. So, incredible way to get these. I'm so dumb for not knowing it sooner. I definitely threw away a lot of gil there, but now you guys don't have to, so there you go. We'll edit this in, and let's go back to our scheduled programming here. So I could go through this forever, but I think that's something you guys kind of have to do to see what on your server sells and what's needed to buy, but I want to go through a few things. Everybody is going to want their aquarium. Aquariums are one of the holding points of your house, so these are what you need for it. These should likely go up quite a bit. They are usually about 1 million, so they went down right now. They're usually about 1.2 million for me. It's been a while since I've been selling stuff. I noticed some of you have called me out on my gil down here. I'm only at 572. I haven't really gone up since I started doing these, just because I've been focusing on videos and other things. Just as a side note there, I haven't really been crafting too much, so. And let's add those up there. Another thing people are going to want in every single house is an orchestron. These things here, they're not as expensive, but I can see them going up to 1 million pretty easily. The second housing comes up, every single house is going to want them, and I know I went over how many. There's 30 in this, 30 in my other ward. There's 15 wards, so let's bring out a calculator here. So I think there's 15 or 12 things, 12 wards times 60 plots. That's 900 new houses popping up, and they're going to be sold almost instantly. That's 900 orchestrons that need to be sold and need to be bought and need to be made. These are going to be bought out so quickly. There's there's like 20 of them up right now. They're going to be bought up right away. I wouldn't be surprised if these went up to 1 million easily. And one last thing too that people really seem to need in their house, and that is picture frames. So grade 3 picture frames right now, they're 600k, and again, these are something people are going to want a ton of, so this is a good thing to stock up on if you want. They're not going to go down unless something mysterious happens. Maybe there's a grade 4 picture frame that has a better border or something like that, but that's about all I can think of. So that was episode 11. I hope you guys enjoyed it. A lot of speculation, and that's an important part of this game, an important part of making money. As you can see, people like big picture frames behind me. There are something like 15 in this house alone. I don't know how many, but there's a ton, and they're all of him. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the likes, comments, subscribes, that sort of thing. Let me know in the comments if you think I missed anything, anything I need to add, and I can add it to the description myself. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye now.